What's going on, guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of Door Kickers 2 Task Force North, where we've been applying realistic military tactics and CQB doctrine to this game. This game is called Door Kickers 2 Task Force North. It is available from my game store over at nexus.gg/controlledpairsgaming, and today is one that you guys have been asking for and waiting for a very long time. I finally made the leap, and we are checking out the Project Ares mod. The Project Ares mod adds U.S. Army Rangers, a more authentic and realistic and true-to-life version of them to the game. It does a complete rework of their equipment, and it's pretty in-depth. I've been taking a look at it over the last, hour or so, getting familiar with it, and I've got my entire platoon set up here, ready to take on this mission. Today's mission is called Eagles Down. This is a custom mission designed by my buddy, the Terminator Carrot, over on Discord. He offered a opportunity to check it out in the Discord channel. If you guys are looking for cool custom maps and other like-minded dudes to hang out with, the Discord is a great place to get linked up. So let's take a look at the mission. We'll do some intelligence preparation of the battlefield, just, and kind of get an idea of how we want to take on this fight. And once we do that, we'll look over the squad, the kit that I have selected to bring, and the Rangers that we've decided to bring to the fight today. So this is a eliminate all terrorists mission. The briefing goes as follows. Shit's gone south real fast. The Black Hawk carrying the infiltration team was shot down near the objective, and reports are that all crew and 3 of the 6 Rangers on board are KIA. The mission remains the same. Clear the area, kill or capture the HVI, and sweep for intel, but get there fast. The lives of your fellow Rangers rest in your hands. Good luck, and remember, Rangers lead the way. If we take a look at the objective, a couple things that stand out right away that I think are interesting from an authenticity perspective, and I've got to commend the Terminator Carrot on doing so. One, the Black Hawk here, it's a UH-60, not an MH-60 like you would expect to see Rangers infilling, in the CENTCOM AOR, but still interesting to see that lift choice. We've got 3 Rangers that are isolated by themselves. I can't command them or give them any orders until I make contact with them, as indicated by this little circle around them. And remember, guys, I have not played this mission at all yet, so you guys are seeing it for the very first time with me, and I'm not sure exactly how it will go. So interesting that we have a combination of a helicopter assault force and a ground assault force. So we've got 1 helicopter with some friendly KIA and wounded, a couple survivors, and then we have a ground assault force consisting of 2, it looks like, MATVs. This could have been a designated QRF that might have been nearby and then responding to the crash, or it could have been a combo helicopter assault force, ground assault force raid, or perhaps the helicopter was trying to get in quickly to the X and rapidly contain and isolate the objective with the targeted bad guy in it, so that the rest of the assault force could roll up in vehicles that are a little bit slower. You can hear them from distance and you have more time to react to them. So that's, a tactic that could very well be employed in the real world. So interesting to see that kind of hot combo raid in this design. If we take a look at the objective area, just based off where our guys are taking cover from, assuming this is like an ISR kind of footage, they are on the other side of all of this. So they are assessing that the threat is in this direction. So even if we didn't have radio communication with them, by virtue of looking at them on ISR feed, we would kind of know where the threat is coming from based off of where they are taking contact. We see 1 Dishka position fortified in this area, second one, a third one, so a very barricaded and well fortified area. This is a prepared fighting position with an enemy that is fighting a deliberate defense against choke points, those choke points being here, 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 and here. And they're isolating those areas by putting their mass casualty producing weapons, their heavy machine guns, on those axes. When I see a crew serve weapon, I also think it needs a crew to operate it. So this Dishka, typically you have a gunner, you'll have an ammo bearer and an assistant gunner. If they're doing it doctrinally, this being an insurgent group, they might not be executing it doctrinally, but I would still suspect that if there is a heavy gun there, there's likely other more lightly armed insurgents nearby. Because this Dishka is, has its back up against a rock outcropping, if I'm seeing this like on an ISR feed, I'm immediately assuming there's some sort of subterranean feature behind it because there's no obvious exfil in these directions. So I'm immediately assuming that they have a tunnel or a means of getting out of this objective. So now I'm thinking, like, what do I need to do to go underground potentially to clear out this area? A lot of burning fires. To me, this, indicates that the enemy probably doesn't have night vision, or they weren't expecting to fight tonight. I don't even know if this is a night map. I'm not sure, but either way, if I'm seeing those fires, I'm thinking like, hey, you can't have nods down with all those fires. You're going to get washed out very likely, or you're going to give away your position. So not prepared to fight necessarily. If we start looking at some of these other compounds, big open garage here, that could mean that there's a garage door that was open, someone potentially squirting out on a motorcycle. We already see 2 motorcycles parked in here. I also see a barricaded structure inside. So like this is another well fortified position. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 sleeping rolls, empty at this point, empty little dressers in that room that I would suspect typically hold weapons that are not holding weapons right now, which to me means they very well could have already been secured. So this vehicle would be a candidate for reduction, meaning like I would if I was highly confident that there was no civilians or collateral concerns in the area, I would very much consider reducing this structure because of the nature of it being as a single-use military structure with a barricaded fighting position internal. I would look at this structure and immediately think the same thing, as long as, again, I could confirm that there was no women or children inside. Presumably, we would hopefully have enough intelligence on the area to be able to make that call and have a good idea of what could be inside. If we look here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of shoes in this area, an additional fighting position, a barricaded hallway that's going to just be an absolute just nightmare to get through. Lounge area with, shisha or some sort of hookah in the center, latrine in the back. Another area outside for motos being stored. When I'm saying a lot of motos being stored, that's a common mode of transportation, a lot of that part of the world. So not necessarily nefarious or bad in and of itself, but still an indicator that you've got, fighting age male, someone who is athletic and capable enough to ride a motorcycle in rugged, mountainous terrain. And you presume them to be male because women typically are not operating those vehicles in that part of the world. So that's an indicator that we have at least 3 drivers, typically not riding by themselves. So that would indicate to me at least 6 potentially just in this area alone. If we take a look at this northern structure, we got an outhouse over here. This could go subterranean again. It could just be like a camouflage kind of thing. And then I'm thinking like, hey, does that go sub T here to here? There is no sub T function, subterranean function that I know of in door kickers. But like that's where my brain goes whenever I see something like that. We have another barricaded fighting position here. Less overt military signature with the exception of this fighting position in the actual like billeting area. We do still have 2 sleeping rolls, but again, I'm not seeing like weapons or anything laying around. Either way, based on us being here to kill or capture a high value individual and our task being to, destroy all enemy combatants in this area. It is not necessarily a free fire zone, but I am presuming that there's a high concentration of enemy combatants in the area. We're going to be extremely aggressive with our posture. This is the perfect type of map to try out Project Ares on because it is an open fight in a super contested environment. So how are we going to go about doing this? So generally, priority 1 is going to be getting to and securing the crash site, making link up with our 3 survivors and getting them aid if at all possible. So it's going to be fighting our way up this choke point, establishing security against a possible QRF to the north, and then getting overwhelming firepower down this choke point to gain fire superiority with our crew serve weapons and our heavy weapons so that we can dominate these lanes and then have enough freedom of action by virtue of our firepower to decide how to move next. Once we have that, we've got good line of sight down the valley. I'm immediately going to start transitioning to aerial delivered munitions, be that from an A10 or from our own organic mortars. We have the ability to do that courtesy of the Ares mod. My mortars are going to be better at structure reduction because the A10s within the mod only do gun runs. Gun runs will be using on infantry in the open, and the mortars will be using to reduce structures. Right now, my candidates for structure reduction are this guy, and then all enemy in the open will be handled either by organic fires from our small arms and our explosives, or by A10 gun runs. So what does the Ares mod give me? I won't say that it's perfect. It's not a perfect representation of what a Ranger platoon looks like, but it's pretty close. They get a lot right. So they give you a headquarters section up here. I've chosen to bring, what I would essentially consider the platoon leader equivalent. RPL today, Scott has a Mark 18. This is the Block 2 variant of the Mark 18, 10.3-inch Daniel Defense upper on a Colt M4A1 lower with a can, an EOTech, and a magnifier. The Mark 27 Mod 2, which is the SOCOM version of the Glock 19 MOS, basically, that can take a red dot. We did put an RMR on it. You don't see a lot of, SOCOM non-special mission units running red dots on pistols yet. I suspect that that's going to become more common in the near future. You're going to see fast MTs and PVS-31 alpha nods across the board, and then the AVS by Cry, which is their load-bearing plate carrier with level 4s on front, back, and sides, which is a standard configuration across a lot of SOCOM and certainly within the Ranger Regiment. 2 bangs, 2 frags, and then the PL has access to that mortar strike. Next to the PL, we've also today brought our JTAC. So Dave is coming in with a Mark 18 suppress, same kind of setup, magnifier, EOTech can, Mark 27 mod 2, fast MT with PVS-31 alphas, AVS, smokes, frags, and then he's got access to that A10 Thunderbolt 2, which is like call sign Warhammer, I think, in the game. They've done some really great work on the voiceovers and whatnot with the mod. And then we brought a good chunk of a rifle squad, alpha team, fire team leader, and there's not really like a squad leader position here. So they've just got 2 like organic fire teams. So fire team leader, assault, automatic rifleman, grenadier, and rifleman. Our alpha team leader is coming in with an M4A1 URGI 10-3. So this is the spiritual successor to the Mark 18 with that new Geisley upper that's on a 10-3. And he is, because he's a team leader and he thinks he's super Gucci, he's running a micro T2 on what looks like a Unity fast riser with a magnifier. Can on that guy as well. You're going to see Mark 27s across the board for everyone that can take a pistol. And then he's bringing a wall breach. Our automatic rifleman's bringing a Mark 46 mod 1. I don't know if the Mark 46 is standard now in the 75th. It very well may be. But the light machine guns and medium machine, well, not necessarily the medium machine guns, but the light machine guns across the force are going through a makeover right now. And I would suspect that they're going to be changing quite a bit to either this or the LAMG or the, next generation squad weapon assault automatic rifleman variant of it. But either way, this is essentially a SAW. It's a SOCOM variant of a SAW with a 145 standard machine gun optic. Sometimes you might see like an EOTech or something, but 145 probably the most common. Just realized I have a JPC on this guy, so I'm going to swap that over to an AVS, 2 bangs, 2 frags, and 3 additional bangs on a panel. Our grenadier today is running a block 3 URGI 14.5, so this is the full size version of the next generation, SOCOM replacements of the block 2s, which gives you that nice Geisley upper with the M-Lock rail system. He's got a Spectre DR14, so an LCAN, which is still, very common across SOCOM. And then the fast ABS, bangs, frags, and the M320 HEDP, high explosive dual purpose. I think it's interesting here and pretty cool that you see the grenadiers in the mod running 320s, off of the gun, which is very common. You'll see guys throw 320s into dump pouches and bungee cord them. As a common practice to get weight off the gun and then just go into it as a utility tool as needed. And then our rifleman today also running the 14.5, and he's bringing an M72 Law. Very common to see, laws being carried in fire teams and rifle squads. And because we're limited on space, because my 2 guys up top from headquarters, our PL and our JTAC, both take up 2 deployment spots. We only get to take 2 dudes from the next rifle squad. So that Vincent, the fire team leader's got a 10-3 and a dynamic hammer for breaching options. And then we brought another light machine gun, so another Mark 46 with smoke. Then we go down to a weapons squad. Typically in a weapons squad, you'd also see some other attachments, either in weapons squad or somewhere else in the headquarters. Be it, snipers is really the one that comes to mind, and, dogs and things like that. Not quite in door kickers yet, but weapons squad does have a Mark 48 mod 1, which is very sexy. We put a 145 on that. And then we've got a goose gunner, which makes my heart extremely happy. So we brought 1 medium machine gun and then 1 Carl G. And our Carl G gunner is also running a 14.5, frags, smokes, and of course the Carl G. I would like to see more munitions available for the Carl G. It's just coming with the HEDP, but I don't know how well you could mod that into door kickers. Either way, from the functionality here, you guys can see that Ares mod has quite a lot to offer, and they are working on even more factions, including some other soft units and even some special mission units. But let's go ahead and get to planning. Remember, kind of the plan here is to assault rapidly up here, make contact with these guys, establish a base of fire here, start reducing structures as I can develop a line of sight on them. And then once we have set conditions by gaining that overwhelming fire superiority, begin to maneuver first to this structure while blocking here, second to this structure while blocking here, and then finally to this structure. So we'll maintain security essentially this way the entire time with a blocking force. Throw a strong left hook fighting as we go, ultimately to get here. So that's what we've got. I hope you guys do enjoy this wild run. Hopefully we can get it on a first try. That was quite the intro, quite the explanation. And if you stuck with me this far, then buckle up because it's about to get weird. All right, I'm going to immediately turn off suppression because that is not a concern that I have today. And what we'll do is lead with our, so this is my PL, my JTAC. We have the PL riding in the TC seat with his JTAC right behind him. I'm going to get this rifle squad moved up here first. And they're going to do this all at a run because we know our boys are in contact. As they do that, PL and JTAC will go here. And then our support guys will stack here. We're going to get off the X at a run. Typically, you know, because we're not going to leave these trucks abandoned, you might leave driver, TC, gunner, something like that in the vehicles. We just don't have the personnel to do that today. Once we do get here, we'll have guys in the back pulling rear security to give us early warning, and then the guys up front in cross coverage to work our way out of this alley. I don't know how long we have before those guys are going to get smoked up top. Hopefully we can get there in time. Let's go. All right, with them set, this guy's got a Mark 46. Where's a rifle? There we go. We got a rifle right here. So rifle's going to pull long with the Mark 46 with him. And these guys are just going to cheat up in cross coverage. A lot of micromanagement in this one today. All right, we've got that pretty much sealed off. What I think I'm going to do now is slide up here and here. I hate how cannibalizing this is. You definitely don't want to bunch up like this if you can ever help it. All right, so this is our headquarters element. They're going to stay generally between our two maneuver elements. Let's see if these guys run into any contact. Yep, we've already got contact long. So I'm going to get this Mark 46 rocking, sealing off that avenue of approach right there. Oh, that's not cover. That's not cover either. No, those are all transparent. I can't get cover over there. I want to kick out some more support, but I don't have it yet. PL's got smoke, so he's going to come on up here and be a hero for a moment. Or is that the JTAC? Yeah, JTAC's got smoke. The Air Force will love bragging about that afterwards. We'll creep these guys up. All right, and we're going to keep that suppression going. I don't know how my dude is doing on ammo. He's got 200 rounds here. Not too bad. All right, Air Force made it. I'm smoking up. I'm going to put one. See, this is the problem because I can smoke up this alley, which is helpful. If I put smoke here, it's going to cut off my fields of fire from my gun. I might still do it anyway. If I creep up, I can put it right there in front of that machine gun. And with that done, I can kick my support over to my crash survivors, which is the ultimate goal here. All right, so that smoke is out. How are we doing on ammo here? 126 rounds left in the box, so not too bad. And I am going to kick over Patrick. So dangerous move here. We're going to send it hard. You'll pull up into their position. We're going to keep the suppressive fire going while we do it, and then I need to start working on getting my medium machine gun into the fight, because that's going to be critical. As soon as my medium machine gun's up, I can talk the guns, meaning I can use a combination of my 48 and my 47, or excuse me, my Mark 46 and my Mark 48 to talk the guns back and forth. So Mark 48's firing until he's expended his ammunition or he's getting close to it. Then we can swap to the light machine gun, and they can change firing bursts back and forth to make sure the barrels don't get too hot. We're not expending too much ammunition, and we have a constant sustained rate of fire to suppress that gap and achieve that overwhelming fire superiority that we so desired previously. Here's that other Mark 46. I'm eventually going to kick him over. I'm going to stage him right here because I'm going to kick him over far, and then I'm going to leave Oscar here in rear security. Dangerous move here. Let's see how the boys do.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we did make contact. I've got one other run to make here to get our last boy. I'm going to leave these crash survivors really just in local security. All right, and now my other medium machine gun got up here. 83 rounds left in this Mark 46, so we're going to go ahead and reload that while we've got our medium machine gun talking.
Thank you.
Tell these guys they don't have to be quiet anymore. I am still concerned about a potential QRF from up top. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to have these survivors doing, is just pulling rear. They just got in a helicopter crash. We don't want to put them in a position where they have to assault. I would rather them hang tight and stay safe for now. All right, we got good cross coverage. We're starting to dominate this lane here. Next up, we are going to get some more smoke out. If I can find my smoky boy. He's expended all his smoke. All right, there we got some more smoke. Smoke there. And smoke there. How we doing on ammo? 96 rounds. We'll let that barrel cool and go ahead and change mags there. And we'll get the 46 back into the fight. And now we're going to kick this Mark 48 across. He's going to end up taking this position. You see a trend here. It's cover, move, cover, move, cover, move. We always have somebody suppressing, somebody that's able to defend another dude who is moving. And now we've got good fields of fire down both of those gaps. So I can even start suppressing down this lane as well. All right, now that we've gained fire superiority and we're dominating along these two lanes, I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to start reducing these structures in the priority that I initially indicated. So first here, then here, and then here. This structure initially I didn't think was much of a candidate for reduction. I think I'm going to kind of give it a second to see how the situation develops before making my final call, because I can really only reduce 2 with my 2 mortar strikes. I may save gun runs for up here. You notice too, my machine guns don't have suppressors on them. Sometimes you'll run a suppressor on a machine gun, but you can cook through them pretty quickly if you get into a good fight. And I assumed I'd be shooting quite a bit today. So they do not have suppressors on them deliberately. We do have a Carl G over here, but I think I want to wait for a potential barricaded shooter before I unleash that. Scott, my PL, can move up into here. These guys are so damn bunched up. Yeah, I'm going to back them up a little bit because that's one S-Vest away from a really bad day. How we doing on ammo up top? $30 rounds. We're going to put him in a check fire momentarily. How you doing here? 71 rounds. We'll go ahead and reload you. We're going to go into a watch and shoot temporarily, so they'll only engage targets that appear. Let's see if we have a line of sight. I could do it. I could put a mortar strike up there. I'm going to go ahead and hit it. I'm going to hold it. All right, PL is going to earn his pay and run across the open. Because that's happening, we are going to kick up suppression again. All right, he's set. We'll go ahead and reload this. While he does that, we're going to put one of the crash survivors over his shoulder to provide security. Now, can I get an angle here? I can indeed. All right, we're going to go ahead and call mortars in on this southern structure. Looks like they'll impact there. They should give us a good enough spread. They've got this great animation too. He actually takes a knee, pulls out a radio, and calls for fire. You hear those mortars shooting. We get one more volley. Hopefully these goes a little bit longer. Short. Oof. Still good effects. We've got that wide open there, and I feel comfortable starting to push that breach a little bit. A little bit of concern here, especially with that machine gun position, but it's something that we can work with. Let's creep up. That gives these guys long security. That's my J-tac. That doesn't work. Yeah, we'll creep up the 46 to right here. We'll keep a machine gun close to him. And then I'm going to leave these guys, I think, as my like solid blocking force once I get them set. All right, and these guys are going to be both looking this way. Now that these guys are all set, I've got Dave. Dave can even come up here and probably give me guns. And we'll all be out of the SDZs. So this is kind of interesting too. So if you call in Cass from the A10, they do a gun run, and you can see the splash on this is just outrageous, but you can mitigate it by getting behind cover. And I'm loving that right there, because everybody that I have is out of the reds, the risk estimated distance of that gun run, and I still get really good effects all the way up here into this enemy position, into here, and then down into this open area. So before I commit my guys to it, I can clean it up very nicely with guns. So we'll send guns in there, and then we'll start working our way down the valley.
Copy target, ground team. Warhorse 2-1, rolling in.
You get that nice voiceover, and then you hear the engines build. It's freaking slick.
CP off. Guns, guns, guns.
Very nice. All right, with that done, we can look at trying to start cleaning out the valley. I do think I like the idea of working. I think I'm going to go south to north. I'm not. I've softened up the south enough at this point that I can leave a blocking position, and they're going to be able to control it. This area up here is still pretty much untouched. So I think what I'm going to do, because I've got a really good fields of fire and angles down here, is hold that, and I'm going to take these guys and sling them up this way. And as I sling them up this way, I'm going to shift this blocking position to here so that they can pull long and seal it off. That's the PL. All right, now that they're set, I can bump my dudes across. First one I'm going to bump across is the... Yeah, that's my 48 there. And I'm going to send 146 with the assault element. There we go. Okay. All right, so in our assault element now I've got 14.5, a 10.3, a Mark 18, that's Scott, and he is our PL. We've got Dave, which is our JTAC, and Brian with a 46. I think I want one more rifle, so I will also send this 10.3. We've already got dudes pulling rear security, and we're in a pretty good spot here. All right, so this is where it gets a little bit weird. I am going to prep this objective before I go in as well. Apply this very slowly. Let me get the PL up here for a danger close mortar call. A very danger close mortar call. Come on, Dave. Is it Dave? No, where is my boy? There he is. I kind of want to save it. You know what we're going to do? We're going to hit this thing with the law. Because I want to save my guns, my mortars for that big structure. We're going to open up this side of this thing real quick. Kick over security while we do it. It's open. Now that it's open, we're going to start dumping HE into this building. Never do Battle Drill 6 when you can do Battle Damage Assessment. So that was 1-2. Looks like one squirter that got handled pretty quickly. Because of that, we're going to let the PL throw his first hand grenade in combat. They love it when you let them do that. That doesn't happen, guys. That was a joke. Alright, that looks pretty good. We're going to try to knock out this door with some small arms if we can. We'll put a bang on it. Nothing. That's still barricaded there. So I'm wishing that I had some more. Can I get a frag in there? I really can't. This is just bad. Okay. I need a machine gun then. Alright, with that machine gun suppressing, we're going to roll left here and push long. Can I get through this tree? That's all barricaded? Are you kidding me? It's just a tree. Shifting his fire so we can squeeze past him safely. We have one shooter there. Now our big threat is going to be to the right over here. So I'm actually going to cut off our machine gun. And shift these guys right. And then push our machine gun up here. Pulling this way. We'll let the assaulters lead, preserving the PL and the JTAC to do their jobs. We don't want to be hanging out right here at all. And I hate all this dead space around this corner. I'm actually going to frag this corner.
Frag out! Frag out!
Peeling this thing as best we can. Having all these guys move at the same speed. Yeah, that could have been super bad. That was a really, really tough spot. Oh my god. Because he moved directly for that freaking in-place gun that I wanted to hit with a rocket, but I just never had an angle. Clever map design, for sure. All right, now that we have a foothold here, I'm going to keep sliding. And this is tough too because it's like I can't really squeeze through there. Breaching this door is a disaster waiting to happen because I'm all stacked up in the fatal funnel. I can't really tuck into cover behind there because it's obstructed. So my only option is to bunch up, which is, you know, the last thing that you really want to do. But I'm very short on options. He's gonna have to pull long. That door is going to come open. We're going to pie it as best we can from the outside. All right, that looks okay. We're going to get inside, despite it being less than ideal, because it's still better than being outside. We'll maintain one outside pull and long security, and put one just inside the door, holding long. All right, and here we're going to go external to make sure that we are indeed clear. And we are. Now that we know that we're clear, I wish I had got a wall shot, but we're going to save that because we're going to need it one of these next compounds. I can feel it. And that sub-T situation does not seem to have come to fruition quite yet. Man. There's no good way to do this, so we're going to do it a bad way. Security on the door. Boot here. Yeah, that was the bad way, but it worked. How we doing? Ammo 19, 24. You're clean. 17. So you can go ahead and change mags. We're going to restack with this building having been clear and secured. Get everybody outside and ready to work again. All right. Assault Force is going to continue to push. Again, just holding this other area. I am going to creep these guys forward a little bit. Fratricide will become a concern as we continue clearance, but we'll mitigate that shortly. Generally satisfied with everyone's line of sight here. Up top, let's go ahead and get the PL in a position where he can drop mortars on this next structure. We'll get security real close over his shoulder. Now, what can you see, boss? Oh no, did that just trigger a mortar strike on top of me? Because I hit the frickin' space bar? Boys, we gotta run. We gotta run. Well, there went my second mortar strike. My method of clearance is going to change. Because I misclicked a freaking mortar strike, so we've got to run out of here and hopefully get far enough away to stop it from happening. Oh my god. You stupid, stupid. God, I'm such a dumbass. Can he not move? Is he just like perma stuck in this position now? I think the PL's out of the fight. I think the PL just quit on us, boys. All right, so we're pulling a wingman here. Brian's going to hold right while Bartholomew holds long. So we've got some good security on this second compound. We also have good security to the south. That area does appear to have been cleared mostly. Can we get on guns now? You can operate these. Oh, that makes me so happy. Because that's clear, we're going to go ahead and continue pushing. All right, this next structure was a candidate for structure reduction. We don't have that luxury anymore. I do have a wall shot. I'm tempted to put that wall shot right here. But we have to get in there first. I wish I had more means of breaching. Man, do I have another rocket over here? Where's my Carl G gunner? There you are. I need you, friend. We're going to send the Goose Gunner up top. A lot of times you might see him left in a blocking position or something like that. You also wouldn't see him run through the open by himself across the entire objective in front of the support by fire. Desperate times, my friends, desperate times. Because I'm going to use the hell out of the goose on this one, because this is a nightmare sort of situation, and we don't want none of it. So we're going to kick him out right here. Again, I can't squeeze a damn goose shot. Bet I can put it right there. Nope. Alright, that's as good as this one's going to get. Alright, so we're going to put that goose shot right there. I'm going to provide security for him right there. Not going to have the ability to really put anyone to his right. So he is going to be exposed a little bit. But that should work for us right there. Goose is going to go in, and after that goose goes off, I'm probably going to put a frag in right behind it, if I can squeeze one through there. Goose looks good. I can get a frag to right there.
Frag out! Frag out!
Frag's doing work. Put another goose shot here. Gotta clear that backblast a little better. Ooh, I just saw mist. Alright. One more frag deep into this room.
Frag out! Frag out!
With a secondary, that's handy. Really opening that thing up, and I think we should be able to pie a lot of this from the outside now. So we're going to go ahead and do exactly that. We're going to push one long, maintaining primary breach, sliding with him here, and here. Those three should all be same movement speed. There we go. All right, you guys want security. Come on. That's a freaking bad situation. He's got cover and he's a barricaded shooter. So we're going to try to squeeze over here to cover real quick. And then see if we can get effects on him from up top. No such luck.
Frag out!
Oh, no way. No way. Oh, no, we lost a homie. First casualty. I shouldn't have tried to suppress that gun. I wanted suppression so I could try to get a grenade in there. We took a casualty for it. We did get a grenade off. Didn't do the trick. Alright, we're going to have to move and go wall shot somewhere else. Damn, I was hoping to get a clean run. Now we got a PL quitting in the middle of the fight, and we got an actual casualty at the same time. Oh my gosh. Alright, we are going to work further down, I think. We're going to have to set security here. Can I get through any of this? I can. Okay. So now we got a kind of tricky situation where real world, we're starting to point guns back towards our friends, which is dangerous. So there'd be a lot of radio communication like, hey man, I'm going to appear around this corner. Please do not shoot me. A lot of that talk would be happening. You are injured. Oh, dude, I forgot my boy Dave still has a gun run available. Let's go. This is your moment. That might be the best we can do. Yeah, right there is about as good as we can do. And then we're going to have to bail out and get everybody to cover.
Copy target
Alright, so with guns coming in, these guys need to get behind cover. We lose situational awareness when we do that, but I think in this case, given the situation, it's appropriate.
CP off. Guns, guns, guns.
Yes. Yes! Oh, that's gnarly. I love it. Alright, with that done, I'm gonna get this. Oh my fucking rear security, no! That's what happens when I lost SA. I even talked about it. I was like, we're gonna lose security for a second, but that's okay because we get a gun run, but it wasn't okay because there's still bad guys trying to kill us. Oh my god. Please kill this man. Thank you. Good lord, how did he survive any of that? Oh man. Alright, so if we just have a single down here, this is a damn catastrophe. I'm going to move him here, and I've got to do a 3-man assault up top. So 2 move, 1 cover. Next one moves. These guys cover. Damn, dude, what a just an absolute fortress. All right, so that's all clear from external.
Alpha, go.
Now I'm just working all these angles simultaneously. I got these guys into cross coverage, getting ready to roll into this last bit of dead space. I will lead with a bang into there before I peek it with my homie.
Flashing!
Good bang. And we'll run it as such, watching that corner. There's our HVI that just went down. So that mission has been accomplished. We still have to finish cleaning out the valley. And we still do have some dead space in this objective as well. Stop short there. Too far. All right, we'll flip this. Of course, it's a bathroom. Clear. All right, this building's clear and secure. We're onto the final structure. We have good security on it from here. The assault force can continue moving in the same direction, keeping the method of clearance generally the same, trying to keep the plan simple, just moving clockwise around the objective. Makes it much easier to battle track. Man, RIP to the homies. Alright, so now we're going to be moving across their field of fire right here, which means they're really just an observation. I still have to contend with this uncleared objective. I think I want to go deep all the way across. Have 1 pull security. Barricaded shooter right there. Get back into cover. Get into cover here. And we'll have to solve that with a wall breach and a goose combo is what I'm thinking. So there's my wall breach. I'm out of guns, and my goose gunner got killed. Damn. What do we got up here? Am I being truthful? Yeah. Alright, we're trying to move our grenadier in position, talk him onto this bad guy. We want to just load this building with HE as best we can. Stopping short of... There we go. Come on, buddy. You suck. We will go ahead and frag this corner from cover.
Frag out! Frag out!
And then peek it very quickly. It is clear. Alright, get your ass back there. Squeeze it by, buddy. Come on. Nice shot. Bad shot. Not terrible. We've got it to the point now where it's mostly
Frag out! Frag
been
out!
handled with high explosives. Again, the goal here, we don't want to do CQB. We would rather load this thing with HE before we go in. We'll get into a position here. Yeah, I've still got that guy barricaded with a freaking TBI around this corner.
Frag out! Frag out!
There we go. Mission success, sort of. 2 casualties, 1 glitch, but mission has been completed. That was a 7-minute, 46-second mission. That's a long Door Kickers 2 mission. Let's see if we can spice it up with this replay. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, I'd encourage you guys to subscribe to the channel. Here we play realistic military simulations in an authentic way, to the best of our ability, with a light heart. We try to learn a little bit in the process. I'm Controlled Pairs. This has been Door Kickers 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Smoke out! Smoke out!
Thank you. Thank you.
Smoke it!
All units be advised, friendly mortar strike inbound, over.
Copy target ground team. Warhorse 2-1 rolling in. CP off. Guns, guns, guns.
fucking amateurs! Ah!
Copy target ground team. Warhorse 2-1 rolling in. Safety off. Guns.
Alpha, go.